Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are excited to have our weight loss, our fitness coach, our amazing coach, and Nathan Rose is joining us here. I didn't know it was our last show together, but we've been talking the past few weeks about the work he's doing. He's from Anaheim, California. Nate Rose Coaching. First and foremost, welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing amazing.
Great. Well, let me ask for those new time listeners, tell us a little bit about the coaching that you do.
Yeah, so I pretty much focus on busy professionals who just don't have time to waste, who want to get results quickly and are willing to do what it takes to get the results. And I do group coaching, one-on-one coaching. Everything's done online now. I still do train some one-on-one people very early in the morning. And then also have a 90-day fitness system that I created that creates physique transformations and also increases athletic performance while reducing the risk of getting injured. So that's kind of what I do in my company.
And in your company, I know you're based out of Anaheim. So where mostly are your clients in person? And you're also doing this virtually as well, right?
Yes, correct. All of my in-person clients are in Huntington Beach because that's where I was for like 20 years. So I still have clients I've been training for 10 plus years that I train in the gym down there. But like I said, very early in the morning, 5 to 8. And then, I'm no longer training one-on-one. So everything I do from that point is just all online.
All right. I know the health, fitness, eating right is all good, but what about your sleep schedule? Just curious, what is your sleep schedule? And then what do you recommend for your clients? Because sleep is very important, but I feel like people like yourself don't get much sleep.
True. And it's funny that you bring that up because just this week I had a conversation with my client. It's actually a client who created a cold plunge. It's called Renew Therapy. He's based out of Costa Mesa. He has like these incredible, ice baths basically, but super extremely well done ice baths that you would buy that look really nice to help with regeneration, stuff like that. But he goes, what time do you go to bed? I said 10:30. He goes, what? So you wake up at 4. I'm like, I wake up at 4 a.m. every day to be by the gym or at the gym by 5. And I've even before woke up at 3:45. So I never get more than 6 hours sleep if I'm lucky. Last night I couldn't sleep. I went to bed at 10.
Wow.
I was still awake. I don't even know what time I went to sleep. Woke up at 4, get up, get my coffee. I'm on the road down to Huntington to be there by 5 to train my clients. One didn't come in this morning, so I worked out. Did my workout from 5 to 6. Had my client at 6. And then came back home. And then I do, I have another company and a business that I do after that. So what I recommend for clients is do what works for you, for your schedule. Okay. They always say, 8 hours sleep is like the most beneficial when it comes to recovery, when it comes to a lot of other things, right? Mental, reducing stress. But even when I guess I could get 8 hours, my body just naturally wakes up. And when I'm up, I'm up. I'm not one of those people who can just sit around laying in bed. So if I'm up and ready to go, but I can operate on even 4 hours sleep. I do best with 6, and that's about all I need.
Amazing. Because look, I used to, for 20 years, I had the schedule of getting up at like 2:45, 3 in the morning. And I worked in television news and it was hard and very hard on the body. But I did it and I lasted. And now I look back and say, how did I used to do that? Now I'm getting 8 hours finally. I never did. But you're right. Everybody's body's different. But you talk to an expert, a doctor, they're going to say you need this certain amount of sleep. But you're right. I mean, I'm just glad to hear that that you said that everybody's body's different because your body's great. So clearly you're doing something right, really. And hold on, what's the other business you do? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, so I'm a mortgage broker. So I do home loans, residential home loans. Yeah, I'm only in California right now in regards to primary and secondary investment. But depending on the type of loan, I can do all across the United States.
God bless. Wow, you are a workaholic, in a good way. And hold on, in the Marines, right? Just tell me a little bit about your background for new time listeners. Clearly, this man is dedicated.
Yeah, so I actually was in the Marine Corps for 5.5 years. I know a lot of people like, what do you mean in 5? So I was a Marine for 5 years. I got out for 2 years, but your name goes on an inactive reservist for 4 years, right? And I was one of those lucky people that got recalled during the time of the war. And in 2003, I had to go back down to Camp Pendleton. And since my original job in the Marine Corps was infantry, I was trained to be a combat instructor, and then I was instructing all of the new, we call them boots, guys fresh out of boot camp. That's why I was put in the School of Infantry down in Camp Pendleton. I was a combat instructor for 6 months, and then was re-released after that. So, and during that time is when I was in the Marine Corps, is when I actually started training people and fell in love with helping people change their body, change their physique, live a healthy lifestyle. And it was at that time when after I won the Body for Life Challenge in Africa, I had a lady that was training in the CIA handed me $100 bill and said, "Hey, let me know when this runs out. Your time's valuable. You need to get paid." I didn't feel good taking money because I wasn't certified as an instructor.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Absolutely not. Your time's valuable." And I went, "Ooh, I kind of like this. My first $100 bill. I mean, I'm a Marine,
Yeah.
not making a whole lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't an officer, so we're very low on the totem pole. But it was my first $100 bill that I actually earned. And I'm like, hey, and I was doing it for free for already 2.5, 3 years. So getting paid to do that, I was like, wow, I already love doing it. And if I can get paid while doing it, then this is what I want to do. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, I moved to Huntington Beach, California, and I've been in the personal training and fitness industry ever since then.
Amazing. I love learning more, even more about you all this time because we've been together for quite some time. And by the way, lines are open 631-307-4010. If you have any questions, 631-407, oh my gosh, 307-4010. In the meantime, Nate Rose is joining us here today live talking about, well, a lot. Is there anything, hold on, over the course of the shows that we haven't covered that you want to stress to your listeners, of course, and obviously clearly to why they should work with you?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm glad that you said that because there's three things that we really need to do in order to get the results that we want, to live a healthy lifestyle, to look and feel good,
Okay.
naked, and which is becoming more important as we age, to slow the aging process. And there's people still in their 70s that look really
Okay.
good, very vital and moving around and without pain. And there's also people in their 60s and 50s who are getting cancer, can barely walk, can't even go up and down stairs. So I think that not only looking good is an aspect of it, but also for the busy professionals to where they can just move better without pain, that they can slow the aging process and have a vital lifestyle and in a good amount of energy
Mm-hmm.
to keep up with their grandkids. And that's really
Yep.
very important as we age, also because our environment has gotten a lot more toxic, right? There's a
Yep.
lot more things that are, which is one reason why I think cancers are so much more prevalent. It's the lack of nutrition in our food supply, and just our lifestyles are just a lot more. They have a lot more oxidative stress around us, right? With all the technologies and stuff like that, and our busy lifestyles, right? We don't have the sit down home cooked meals. Now we have the fast food. So just our
Yep.
lifestyle is so much, and so there's three things really that you need to do in order to achieve your fitness and health goals. Okay, then I'll run through them and I'll kind of go back to it. So number one thing that we have to do is we have to recalibrate our brain and our mindset.
Okay.
What I mean by that is because first we must get our mind right. First, we have to start and look at where we want to go. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
start with the vision, right? We have to say, hey, you know what? I'm not really content, happy with where I'm at right now. So I want to go here. And then after we figure out what it is that we want, we have to be very honest with ourselves to figure out where we're at. Instead of burying our head in the sand, we actually have to do our measurements, take that before picture. And I've just yesterday, my girlfriend looks at a picture that was taken of her when she was doing a presentation this week as a nurse practitioner in her scrubs. And she looked and goes, oh my God, like she did not like how she looked, and she looks great, but it's just
But
when
I
you
get it when, yep.
it just it really puts the reality, it kind of slaps you in the face and goes, here you are. And if you don't like it now, you know what you need to do to change, and it's going to give you a little bit more motivation and focus, right? So that's the first thing. And then also by creating that vision, we're going to want to make sure that we're eliminating self-doubt and the negative self-talk, because we are our biggest critics. Just the other day, I said something about myself, and one of my friends that I've known for, I guess, 15 years, she's the owner of the gym. She goes, what are you talking about? You look incredible. And I'm like, I appreciate it, but it's just like we are our own worst critic. Like since I've gotten to a certain point in my life, many years over the years and 20 years
Yeah.
and doing competitions, I'm always looking at the competition photo and going, I want to look like that, but it's just not realistic. And it's
Hmm.
not healthy either. There's nothing healthy about being 3% body fat walking around like that. So that's the first thing we have to do. Second thing we have to do is we have to begin an exercise and a nutrition plan. I think this is pretty obvious, but I just have to say it. Like, there's
Okay.
no way you're going to be able to change your physique and look the way you want to look, feel better, right? And feel strong and increase your bone density, increase your flexibility and your mobility without a sound and correct nutrition and fitness plan. Okay. And one of the questions I want to ask is, why is a blueprint or a roadmap or a flight plan, so to speak, so important? Is because it compresses time, it gets you there faster, easier, and cheaper.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, okay, what the question now is, okay, what's the best plan for you or for me? And will it work for you? Well, the blueprint that I've created works for successful, busy professionals who don't
Okay.
have to waste, who want results fast, and want to maintain those results to increase their lifespan, slow aging, move without pain, improve their mobility,
Yeah.
feel strong with tons of energy that will end up flowing into their personal businesses and their professional careers. That's going to allow them to impact more lives. That's what my blueprint is for. It's not, has it worked for teenagers? Yes, absolutely it has. Has it worked for seniors who aren't, super busy and have all the time in the world? Yes, but it was not designed for them. It is designed for the people who don't have time to waste and are willing to do what it takes to get there. And those people also understand the next part of it. What I said was cheaper. Okay. And that comes down to number 3 is accountability.
Yep.
You have a coach and a mentor to hold you to your commitments, to yourself and to your family and to your friends. And why would I say that it's cheaper? Well, like hiring a coach is not going to be cheap, but the reason successful entrepreneurs and busy professionals hire coaches and mentors is because success leaves clues.
Yep.
You want to accomplish something in the fastest, most efficient way possible. The easiest way is to follow someone who's already done it before you.
True.
And
Absolutely. Yep.
they did, so that you can compress time and shortening that learning curve that are going to get you the desired results that you
Yep.
want much faster than you trying to figure it out on your own. And
I love,
that's
by the way, I love how you were like, I'm going to be honest with you. Excuse me. But one of the only people I've talked to in your field who is so realistic. And even like back in the day when I used to have a trainer, when I used to work out before I had kids and I had more of a life for myself. And I know you can have both, but sometimes it's difficult.
yeah.
And you really are so realistic because you're right. You look at a magazine, it's like, I want to look like her. I want this. And no one's ever told me that you will never really look like that, Jill. Like, okay, because your butt is this shape and it's not going to come up because it's saggy in this area. Like, but I love that you're just no nonsense, no BS. Like and honesty is important. We could always improve ourselves, but we cannot maybe be that person that we see, which is so hard now because everyone's on, their cell phones and it's like Instagram and it's like, wow, look at this filter. I want to look like this. So I love that you are so honest, like, and that's just important. You got to be honest with yourself and you have to be honest with your clients. And that can be a difficult situation because people might be insulted, but no, I like how you operate.
Yeah. Well,
And
and,
I can
and
say
I
that.
think part of that comes from just experience, being in the industry for a long time. And I catch myself doing that too. I'll scroll through Instagram and, I'm not on TikTok, but I'll scroll through and I just look at a picture and just going, wow, like they look amazing.
Yeah.
And it can give you inspiration and know that, but there's
Yes.
people that I've always been inspired by that I would never be able to look like Mike O'Hearn. The guy's phenomenal. He's been on like probably more bodybuilding magazines
I know.
than any man on the planet. And he's phenomenal, but he's like 6'4" and he's like almost 300 pounds. Like I'm never going to look like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, but I probably could look more like Jason Statham, right?
Yes.
Or maybe Scott Adkins. Well, they're leaner, but also like with the martial arts part, I have a martial arts background, not like them, but that I've always aspired to. Like Van Damme was my biggest, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I want to be able to do splits. I want to look like a bodybuilder, but then be that on the screen. And so you can find somebody that inspires you, but that has your same body
Yeah.
type. Like like if your height is a certain height, like don't, I'm 5'7". I can't look like a 6'4" person. It's just never going to happen. So find someone that has my physique type that I can aspire to, or try to get to that physique. And I had Michael Hearn's pictures like all over my wall when I was in Africa
Wow.
in the competition. And I even had like really sexy, like Monica Brandt and Corey Everson and a lot of like really sexy females on my wall too, because it just inspired me because like they can look like that. Like look at her butt. Like I should be able to do that too, And what you said about the butt too, you can get there, but just understand it's going to take years. It's not going to happen in
And it
weeks or
may take
months.
plastic surgery. Let's be honest. Not everybody's body's
And
fixable.
you can
A
do
lot of
that.
us women who, have children, lose weight, you have extra added fat and stuff, which you can work out
And
to a
extra
point, but
skin.
that could help you too. Some cutting and moving, but
Yeah. And it's just going to take, it's consistency, it's dedication, but also like a lot of the people that you see on there also, that's all they do. Like that is their job. They don't have lives. And then some of them don't even have kids. Like the only thing they do is their whole entire focus is working out in the gym, looking a certain way, and maybe helping other people do that. But if you want to look like that, then you have to do what they're doing. And that's like, that is your life. So just understand that if you have a life outside of that, you can aspire to look like that, but just understand that it's maybe not as realistic as you might think, or they might let you think that it is. It is going to be a lot more challenging. And also a lot of those people are also on a lot of different supplements that they're not maybe sharing with you, diuretics, steroids, growth hormone. There's something that, if they're honest, okay, great. And there's very few who actually are honest saying, hey, here's what I'm taking, because they want to act like they're all natural. I was all natural for all of my competitions. I only just had to actually recently go on TRT during COVID because my testosterone levels was below 300.
Wow.
And I started feeling like I didn't want to work out. I had no sex drive. I was just like, blah. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? Like, I love working out. And then I finally got tested. One of my clients told me, go get your testosterone level checked. I'm like, really? I've checked it. I'm like, whoa. And now a doctor is prescribing it so that I can bring my levels back up to normal. It's not crazy. It's just up at 600 now. And that's where it's maintained. I worked with a doctor for that, but I didn't even know until I hit 44, 40. Yeah, about 44. But it was also all the stress, losing my job, losing my business because of COVID, and then going into a brand new career. And I was working 60 hours a week doing loans.
Oh gosh.
And still training people in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for 18 months before they let me go. Now 60 hours a day, and it was in an office, I was working from home. So I had two screens and I was like on the phone all the time. And that's when I got checked, when I ended up knowing my testosterone levels. So men and even women getting your hormones checked when you're in your late 40s and beyond, highly recommend it, because it can dramatically improve your life if you are in the toilet, kind of like I was. As a side note.
No,
But
absolutely.
that's how, that's where also a coach and a mentor can help you with that if they have that experience. But if you're working with a 20-year-old and you're in your 40s or 50s and a guy just started working out, he's not going to know what you need to do and how your body's going to react to certain things because they haven't gone through that experience themselves. And that's where hiring a coach like myself, who has 20 plus years of experience and is going to be 46 this year in 1 month now almost, I had that experience. I'd be able to better coach you and guide you through that path to avoid those pitfalls and recommend certain things on what I needed to do, because I can't do the same things I did when I was 20 and 30. Every year, there's certain exercise and things that I have to adjust or pull in or take out or modify because my body just doesn't work that way anymore. And through that experience, I've learned that, and I can apply that. And a lot of my clients are in their 70s. I work a lot of older clients that still move way better than people who are in their 40s because I know how to adjust and manipulate.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
And move around better without pain.
Aw. Well, thank you for sharing that. And we still have another 6 minutes left on the show. What else do you want to make sure we get to talk about for today?
So I wanted to invite you to actually go to my website, NateRoseCoaching.com. And I just added in a tab in there because you asked me for this. How can they basically get in touch with me? And I just created a new tab that says book a call.
Yep.
And for anybody that books a call and just mentions this show, that you heard me on this show, you're going to get a 20% discount off of any program that you end up deciding to work with me. 20% off. And It might be, it's a lot bigger than you might think because the investment is going to be a little bit bigger than you might think. But book a call with me. Go to naterosecoaching.com, book a call. And Warren Buffett said this: the best investment that you can make is invest in yourself, because that can't be taken away from you or considered a loss, because you will grow and become better as a result. So even if I've invested in a lot of different business coaches over the past couple of years, over in a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 range. And even though I didn't get the result I was looking for from those, I've actually become better as a person, as a coach and a trainer, as a marketer, as a person who tries to speak my voice and try to hit the certain audience that I'm looking to help improve. I've gotten better because of that, and I know that eventually that will come back to me tenfold. Hasn't yet, but I'm looking forward to that when that day comes.
Oh my goodness. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing that. And by the way, just to remind everyone, that website, also, wait, hold on. How do we, social media too? Do you mind sharing?
Sure. Yeah. You can get a hold of me through social media. It's facebook.com/Nate Rose Coaching. And on Instagram, it's actually instagram.com/Nathan_A.
We have a caller coming in right now. Hold on. Stand by. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the show. Who's this?
Hi, this is Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi. Welcome. You are live on the line. Do you have a question for
Hi.
Nathan Rose? Are you into fitness, working out? What do you need? He'll help you. And yeah, you just, like, he's probably heard a special.
I did have a question for Nathan. I was just wondering, like, how often do you recommend working out to maintain like a healthy workout schedule during the week?
Well, it really depends on your results, but I'd say a good place to start would be at least 3 times a week. And I would definitely focus more on the resistance training part of it as opposed to the cardio part of it. And time frame anywhere between 20 to 45 minutes would be good, but following a very specific, sound, structured plan, not just working out, doing whatever you want when you walk into the gym. But it also depends on your schedule and the results that you want to achieve and how quickly you want to achieve those results. So that's kind of a canned program, because it really depends on what you want to do, how quickly you want to do that, and that would dictate the program design that would work best for you based on the time, like you said, that you have to work out. What might end up happening, though, if you start seeing results, you might want to dedicate a little bit more time or free up some time, because now you want to increase those results that you're already starting to see.
Right, exactly. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Thank you. And did you hear today about the special he said? Just to say it again, just in case.
Yes.
For all listeners today.
Yeah, it's 20% off as long as you mention this call when you book a call. If you decide to actually get on one of my programs, you will receive 20% off discount.
Awesome.
Okay, perfect. And just, I'm sorry, can you repeat your website just one more time? I just want to write it down.
Yes, it's naterosecoaching.com. And there's a
Perfect. All right.
on the top that says book a call. Click on that, and there's 2 different calls that you can book. You pick which one, and I'll see you on the inside.
All right.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Thank
My
you
pleasure.
again.
Take care.
All right. Again, we still have, 2 minutes left in the show. If someone wants to call, 631-307-4010. In the meantime, how did you kind of want to sum up for today? Any advice, any tips? Why should we get started? Make us get started.
Yeah, I'd say, well, it's that time of year where we are wearing a little bit less clothing, right?
Yeah.
It's getting nice and warmer. We're looking at maybe going on vacation with the family. So now really is the time to start making those changes so that you can start seeing those physical changes. But also because we're going to be outside a lot more, I would say make sure that you're wearing sunblock, okay? Getting skin cancer, because that's a big killer, and drinking enough water, making sure you're staying hydrated. Even if you need like the no-calorie sports drinks,
Yep.
To help increase your electrolytes, electrolyte balance with your sodium, magnesium, potassium, so that you don't get cramps, because you're going to be sweating more, even though you don't realize it. But definitely try to make sure you drink enough water, carry around a hydro flask or something like that. You got to drink 4 of these a day. No, I'm kidding. I do. I've already had one. I'm on like 1.5 already, but also because I worked out at 4 o'clock, woke up at 5 a.m. So
that's cool. I mean, it's yes and no. You have a job and then a client doesn't show up, but hey, it gives you time to work out. So it's like, all right, You're still gaining. All right. Well, thank you again. Pleasure having you here. And if someone does again want to reach out, tell us all the ways. Thank you.
Yes, NateRoseCoaching.com. You can reach me on there. You can book a call, or you can go to my new community that I created for busy professionals to help get you in shape. And you're going to be working with me every week in that platform. But if you want one-on-one help, book a call with me. You can also find me on Facebook.com/NateRoseCoaching or Instagram.com/Nathan_A_Rose.
Beautiful. Thanks again. Have a great day. Best of luck to you. And I'm sure we'll connect again. Okay. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.